The title of this video is An Honest Review of Women's Suffrage by Basic Logic Channel. Let's watch it.
Of many things, but voting well doesn't seem to be one of them. In their defense, men don't vote that well either, but are still considerably better on average. In this video, we go over the political gender gap, the causes behind it, and some ancient wisdom to give an honest review of women's suffrage. And if you enjoyed, consider subscribing, it helps the channel. First, let's get some basic things out of the way. Contrary to propaganda, we do not live in a patriarchy. Collectively, women have more power in the West than men do. We live in democracies where everyone can vote, and women both outnumber men and have a higher voter turnout. If women voted as one united bloc, they'd win every election. Secondly, women control education through sheer numbers, and as anyone of my generation can attest, will often force their politics down children's throats. Thirdly, women control the professional environment through HR, again through numbers, to the point where we've even had cases of HR ladies on social media openly saying that if you post right-wing content, they won't hire you and they will ruin your reputation with other companies. And lastly, the consistent pro-woman bias in
pizza,
family
that's
courts
why I put
have
the
given them
heart eyes.
asymmetric leverage
Pizza's
in
so
marriages.
good, so delicious.
The only power men still have in our societies are reactive. They have the power to use force, for obvious reasons, which they simply don't nowadays, and they have productivity, because despite of all the efforts we went through to get women into the workforce, they have not occupied the essential jobs that keep society running. And I doubt the endless Zoom meetings would be missed. So men could theoretically go on strike, refuse to maintain essential services, and force change. But as long as the status quo remains, women collectively are in charge. So what have they done with all this power?
Or they are increasingly on charge, by the way. Things are not becoming better, or becoming worse. That's the point.
The Greek playwright Aristophanes, referred to as the father of comedy, wrote a play 2,400 years ago where he predicted the outcomes of what would happen if women took control of politics, called the Assembly of Women. His predictions included massive welfare expansion and equity focus, enabling free riding and draining the treasury, hostility to private property and private relationships, erosion of the family unit with the state as a substitute provider, weakened commitment, chaotic dating markets, and ironically fiercer female competition, as well as the punishing of masculine traits leading to more effeminate men. Aristophanes was eerily prescient, with modern voting data showing women, on average, strongly backing the patterns he warned about. An 8 to 15 point swing over men in favor of increasing welfare beyond its
Oh, the Greek guy. 107,383. When that left is 0.
An 8 to 15 point swing over men in favor.
A guy so back in the past could foresee all of this, and even so, we are in this terrible situation right now. Holy fucking shit.
Of increasing welfare beyond its already extensive size, a 20 point swing in favor over men in support of increased gun control, and as much as a 15 point swing over men in favor of mass immigration. And perhaps something not even Aristophanes would have predicted, 56% in favor of killing their own unborn kids for any reason. A 15 point gap compared to men. Looking at the downstream social effects, declining families, rising spending, polarization, Assembly of Women feels less like satire and
we were discussing this today, right? Abortion and everything.
More like a warning. There are two clear patterns here. Firstly, many women are clearly voting to use the state as a substitute husband. Instead of men protecting and providing for their families, the state does it. But the irony is, the state can only provide for them by taking resources from men. After all, the state itself does not produce anything. In essence, this is a form of forced disenfranchisement against men. Men's naturally advantaged ability to protect and provide was once leverage for them in the dating market. Leverage they could use to get a higher quality spouse. But by these being forcefully taken from them and given for free to women, men's value and agency have been vastly reduced. One of the only things nowadays that men get to keep entirely for themselves is their own physical attractiveness. Historically, physical attractiveness is a trait women would use for more leverage in the dating market. But since that's all that men have left for themselves, it explains the recent trend of men becoming so obsessed with their appearance, and as a result, becoming more effeminate. People blame dating apps and social
My god, that explains very well everything. This he's explaining the entire modern word society in 26 in 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Oh my god, that's the best definition I've seen so far. It's like so easily explained like that and so puzzled into make sense, so detailed. That's so perfect. That's so perfect. So good. Very good.
media for the extreme focus on male appearance. But the fact that so many other aspects of masculinity have been forcefully substituted by the state seems like the greater cause. Since men are now less incentivized to acquire the necessary masculine skills to protect and provide, they'll do so less, and focus instead on more rewarding feminine traits, and as such the state will have less and less masculinity to draw on, ultimately leading to less provision and protection for society over time, as we're already seeing. There's some nuance though, because while women generally have been treating the state as a substitute husband, there are certain groups of women who will absolutely not vote this way, and in fact despise this behavior. That is, women who themselves have long-lasting successful relationships with men. This is intuitive. The less successful a woman is in establishing a strong private relationship with a man,
Oh my god! It's me! It's literally me! He's describing me there. He's describing me there.
the more likely she is to try to use the state to redistribute masculinity towards her. Meanwhile, if a woman is successful in that pursuit, the less likely she is to want to share her man. This is effectively the libertarian versus welfare debate, except proxied through relationships. As such, societies that encourage promiscuity, polygamy, and non-commitment are effectively a form of socialism for undesirable women. As men and women continue to drift apart and fail to establish long-standing relationships, the more appealing this form of socialism becomes for them. This again mirrors Aristophanes' prediction.
It's literally, guys, it's literally again what we were discussing today. I remember that I said that I'm only the way I am. I even joke like with being autistic and exquisite the way I am. Different from others here because I have a father. Because I have a dad. It's literally this that this guy's describing here.
Where in the play the assemblywomen forced men's attention to be shared with less desirable women. The second pattern of female voting is supporting whatever the current thing is. I gave you the stats about modern-day voting issues, where you see women giving significantly more support to liberal mainstream ideology that we've all been taught in school. But if we rewind the clock some decades back to when mainstream institutions were conservative, you'd see women being more conservative than men. Why? Because it was the current thing. Women are, on average, more agreeable than men. A consequence of agreeableness is the fear of going against the perceived consensus. As such, women operate less as independent voters, but rather as parrots of institutions. If the dominant institutions are conservative, women will broadly be conservative. If they're liberal, women will broadly be liberal. Naturally, parroting the dominant opinion is not helpful in politics, and actually reinforces political entrenchment, facilitating corruption, lack of scrutiny, and dogmatism. A deeper issue of suffrage is its effect on the family unit. In healthy societies with strong families, husbands and wives are aligned.
Now here comes the $1 million question. So, if women are getting more and more liberal, more and more retarded, more and more feminist, I just see in those colorful graphics, like women getting more and more Democrat, if that still keeps increasing, what that signals to you about all the machine of the government? If a woman literally respects the status quo, and obviously I believe in what he's saying because I told myself not in so good way like in putting Not like he's putting so nice words here, but I thought about this stuff as well here on the channel.
New donation of 75 from
It's
Jedi_Kryptonian.
oh,
Please
thank you
accept
very
this
much,
donation
Jedi.
from a guy who is finally someone, lol.
Thank you very much, Kryptonia someone, Jedi someone. Thank you very much, someone. You are very nice someone. Thank you for $75, someone. Thank you very much. I kind of forgot what I was talking about, but yeah, I don't think it was that important.
They'll vote the same, making
Thank
the
you,
extra
someone.
votes
Thank you.
redundant. However, now you have the political incentive to appeal not to families,
It
but
was
to
really someone.
individuals. And if your platform is generally more appealing to women,
Remarkable
especially single women, but not to men, you are now incentivized to push policies that sabotage or delay family formation, or to get wives to vote against their husbands, which causes marital rift and has happened in recent campaigns. After all, as we've established, generally women in successful marriages will not vote for the state as a substitute husband, thus diminishing your power. This means that at best, women's suffrage is largely redundant, and at worst, it politically incentivizes the subversion of the family, and therefore the future of your nation. Additionally, this is a weakness that's unique to women's suffrage, as while you can somewhat use the state as a substitute husband through the roles of protector and provider, the state is incapable of providing men with what they'd want from a wife. The market, on the other hand, fully exploits single men. But that's a topic for another day. So here's my honest review of women's suffrage. We're now in a situation where family formation is at an all-time low, reckless government spending at an all-time high, men and women are lonelier and more depressed than ever, dominant political institutions are more entrenched than ever, and every single policy that led to these outcomes are consistently upheld by the female vote, in a way so predictable the ancient Greeks were laughing at us over 2,000 years ago. 0 out of 10 would not recommend opening a door for total societal collapse again.
This guy was perfect in every single thing in the entire video. I think in the way that he explained it here, you can actually explain even to a kid what's going on in your society. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. This is so very well explained. So much like easy to understand explanation. So very like compiled in like 8 minutes and 50, almost 90 minutes. That's so freaking good. And with a lot of, images and everything. So a kid can understand this. This guy is doing God's work. This guy is doing God's work. Literally. This guy, like, his content is made for the future. He's made for, like, I would put kids to watch this. I would, definitely. So they wouldn't become retarded like all the others are in future. Very good, very good. Very good. Just want to remind you guys, join our Discord server. You can do that by hopping on the link tree that is on your screen right now. There you'll find amazing links, like include the Discord one and others, like for example for our Patreon and Ko-Fi. So you can support Fox there on Patreon. You're gonna find like many tiers of subscription, and each of those tiers give different perks, including special rules on Discord server, access to exclusive content, and many other stuff. And yeah, if you're not a woke, retarded, liberal, or fence-sitter person, you are welcome to join the Discord server. You can also like type discord.gg/Kitsune and yeah, that's it. Let's keep watching. We're not first. Before we go any further, I want to take this brief moment here to thank all of you, my patrons, for the incredible support to my work here on YouTube, and especially my 5-tail Fox Tier member, the Holy Ball, and to all of my 3-tail Fox Tier members, Wallony Wolf, Fanny Sylvie, Eat Himself, Chile Not Serious, Eustace the Useful, Zealous Isaiah, Ala Rosas, Max Tenor, Nugutino, Avery, Halcyonic Ether, and TV8. Thank you very, very much. You guys are amazing. Also, thanks to everyone that have been supporting me on Ko-Fi, Kick, and to all of my YouTube members. You can support this channel life and growth with just $5 a month and gain access to many perks. This is less than a burrito. Check out my Patreon. Link is in the description below. And that's it for today, my dear Foxlings. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.